So by the time I'm having this moment, I'm slick grinning. You feel me? Like I'm trying to hide the moment. Like I'm trying to damn, this T.I. Like in my head, like nigga, I done made it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You this what I always dreamed of in high school. In my head, I'm like, nigga, I knew I was dope. You know what I'm saying? This my moment, bro. I'm in my head.
Welcome to the show. I gotta let you know. It's 100 at the door.
Season 5.
Yes, sir.
Episode 1.
Let's go.
We here. I don't even remember what buttons, man. It's like
give me something.
We ain't even had a 3 seasons. I got
okay.
What we got? Not no Falcons horn.
It's too early.
What else we got?
What?
We gon'.
That was at Westbrook.
Yeah, that's that Westbrook.
What?
I know that.
What are you talking about?
Bro, what are you talking about?
But we back in the building, man. Season 5. It's your boy Cam. We got Mike in the building. Twan back in the building. We got a special guest. I'm sure a lot of our loyal listeners, viewers, especially viewers right now at this point, because the listeners don't know, can see, a familiar face, somebody you're probably familiar with. Yeah. Tuskegee fan, but we got to get through the intro first, man, before we introduce guests. HasBeens Podcast, Season 5, we back in the building. This episode is brought to you by Two Tipsy Sangria, man.
Yes, sir.
We are all on the Two Tipsy. Shout out to my boy Mario, man. Founder, owner of Two Tipsy Sangria. We got a slogan for him. He don't got one yet. He working on his slogan.
Okay.
But Mike, you got one, right? What is it? It's 3 words. It'll get you.
It'll get you drunk. Hey, it's first episode, but it'll get you drunk.
Yeah,
Mike said, nigga,
is that what we were sipping?
That's what we sipping right now.
That shit actually straight though.
Two Tipsy Sangria, man.
It'll get you drunk.
That's it. Shout out.
That's the goal.
It's too simple, man.
Yeah.
So tap in with my boy Rio on Instagram, man. It's Two Tipsy. Let me make sure I got it right. Yeah, Two Tipsy Sangria. TOO Tipsy TIPSY Sangria on Instagram. Tap in with him. Order a bottle. He got flavors, man.
On deck.
He got. I think we was on the watermelon today.
The watermelon is all right.
The watermelon hidden. I know he got the peach. That's going crazy. It's a couple other ones, but y'all make sure y'all tap in, support black-owned business. You got some good flavor. Support. What else we got going? Also tap in with us on your social media. Moment of silence to our social media. We will never forget the moment of silence. HasBeens Podcast, WildCard TV. Tap in with us on all social media. Pull out your favorite, browsing device. Some people get on their iPad. Some people getting laptop based. But whatever you on, tap in with us. HasBeens Pod, WildCard TV. We on TikTok. We on Facebook. We on Instagram. If you listening to your podcast, make sure you tap into with us. We on every podcast streaming platform. That goes without being said. And if you watching us, make sure you tap in with us on Instagram. I mean, not Instagram. Yes, Instagram. But YouTube, WildCard TV.
Said all of that.
Yeah, but actually TikTok and Instagram too, because we got the content going crazy there.
Mike
too.
be on there dancing.
Mike got shit going on, right?
Well, I'll pull out the moves, man.
Yeah,
He be lying about the Falcons.
Yeah. So moment of silence to that.
To himself.
And guess what? During the moment of silence, I'm gonna take a lap. That's my new thing. I'm leaving. I'm walking out. And I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
So tap in with us, man.
Push the goddamn button.
You're going to take a lap.
Yeah, bro.
Go test the wall and sit back down.
Right.
Like, where are you going? Yeah. Got to go check on the baby. Tell me, I'm going to take a lap real quick. Yeah, nah. There better be a last fucking lap.
Some new vibes going on in season 5. We taking laps.
Y'all ain't respect them. Y'all ain't respect that?
That's a
It may grow on
KG.
us.
Anything
It may
is
grow on us.
possible.
It may grow on us. We'll see. We'll see. You never know.
I'm trying new shit, man.
Yeah.
But we in the building, man. We got a special guest
Yes, sir.
straight out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
Tuskegee's finest. Got to start there, man.
For sure.
Rapper, filmmaker. Hold on. The original backpack boy.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Just an overall creative, man.
For sure.
And a friend of the pod, a friend of myself, a friend of, I don't know, Twan, I don't want to speak for you.
No, me and Chance go way back, way back.
That's the day one.
Way back, way back.
I don't like to speak for
They
people.
putting friends on niggas. I don't know if y'all friends for real.
Yeah, I fuck with Nah, that's
I don't want to put no unnecessary.
Yeah, nah, that's my dog.
I'm trying to be a responsible. I realized they told me like, no, you a journalist whether you want to be one or not. You get on here, you talk about shit. You gotta.
You better know it.
So yeah,
Nah, it's 2024.
So,
you can just lie.
No. I'm trying to dish you.
Yeah,
I'm
you
trying
can
to
just
be more
fucking
responsible
lie.
with what's coming out of my mouth, bro.
It might be responsible to lie sometimes.
Oh yeah, I understand.
You can't just tell your whole
Low key.
truth.
No, you can't. You can't.
I be tucking some of my truths. I'll be
torture.
honest.
It's tucking your truth.
They be like, "Nah, Twan taking it too far. I gotta keep that shit in my pocket sometimes."
We're gonna start with truth. But again, Chance, appreciate you coming through, man, giving us your time, blessing us with your presence. We getting it. So we're gonna get straight into it. We're not gonna waste much time.
I'm honored too, by the way. I watch the show. I'm a fan of the show. Like
All right.
I really
We
actually
appreciate
like.
that, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like let me tap in. I don't just tap in with the $1 million worth of games. I also tap in with my people. So like, I be at the house on the
appreciate
big
that.
screen. I'll be like, okay, I really be checking y'all out.
That's what I
Y'all,
said. I appreciate it,
Yeah.
man.
I actually like what
Feel
y'all.
me? I
got
started
going.
off as a listener myself, so I definitely
He was in
understand.
he always tell me like, man, fuck with it. You
Nah,
know
I
what
really
mean?
do.
Like he just,
Yeah.
and I'm always like, damn, I need to hear that shit. And it's always coming from like people, especially when you know somebody who kind of do things similar to kind of what you doing. It hit different, getting the respect or
Feel me? Give me your
it's
flowers.
Like, it's like okay, I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? It might not be all the way,
For sure.
but it's somewhere there. So that's we're gonna start real. We're gonna get straight into it.
Okay.
Let's start with the thing we all got in common. Tuskegee University.
All right.
But we're going to take it a little step back. I want you to talk about kind of your upbringing, growing up in Atlanta, and then coming to Tuskegee and how that impacted your just development overall. Let's just kind of let people get to know kind of Chancellor and how he got there.
For sure, man. So like, make sure. So I'm from Atlanta, from the east side of town, like Decatur, Lithonia area. But my dad, he's in the Army. So I didn't grow up with any family members here. It was just us, like me, my sister, my mom, my dad. So basically, this was the spot that my dad was at, Fort Gordon. My mom got a job at Athens at UGA. So they was like, Atlanta's the next, best thing. So let's move to Atlanta. So that's like really my upbringing. My dad was in a band growing up. So the house just always had guitars, drums. He kind of like his own studio. So, and my sister sings, plays the piano. I played the drums. I couldn't sing, so I guess I was nice with my the words. But I started off doing like spoken word, like poetry and stuff like that. And then it kind of just turned into rap. And then like just picking up on like the musicality from my pops and stuff, who can read music and play the electric bass guitar. My sister same way. So honestly, growing up in Atlanta during that time, college wasn't like on our radar. Not to say like I didn't want to go, but I just wasn't thinking about Atlanta. This was like during like Lil Scrappy, Crime Mob, Lil Jon era. So like
Tall T era.
Yeah, exactly. So like it was more like house parties. Atlanta was fast. You had teen clubs. I was younger, but this is like, so like I grew up in a special time from Atlanta. Like I'm young enough to remember Freaknik. But like in my like 12, 13, that's like Big Meech era, you know what I'm saying? Jeezy, T.I., Outkast, that type of era. So we saw a lot, like, but I wasn't old enough to get into
To participate in it.
There you go. I wasn't old
You knew
enough,
it
so I'm
was there.
just
You was
watching.
on the sidewalk
There you
type
go.
shit.
But in Atlanta at that time, we had teen clubs. So you got your Golden Glide, American Skating, this is like Travis Porter area, like Soulja Boy, like
damn, them dudes were ahead of their time.
Yeah, they was. Travis Porter was definitely ahead of time. So like the young LA type of thing. So there you go. Me being in the music, I'm thinking like, well, like I'm not. My full focus is not college. I really just wanted to be a rapper at that time, seriously. But of course, music was changing. The internet was getting popular, so like it was tough. You know, whose parents are just gonna be like, oh yeah, just stay home and be a rapper. So like at that time, Drumline was like the biggest movie out. My sister is the studious one. I'm not like I'm smart, but not like
right
academically. You know, she's gifted there. So Drumline came out. And I was like, damn, that shit looked kind of cool. Like that shit was fire. And at the time, you know, SATs, ACTs, people taking these courses. And I'm literally like, I can remember from age 14, 15, my mom was dropping me off at a studio, like with my friends. Like that's all I was focused on, just music. Yeah. I swore up and down, like I'm gonna make it. Like before senior year, like I'm gonna make this shit pop. Of course, like I got a little traction, but not enough where like my mom would be like, you can stay home. So I waited to the last minute bullshit at SATs, and it was like, damn, like I don't know where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody else was coming into school with their shirts on and shit, and I'm like, damn, I really don't know what school I'm gonna go to. So I'm just kind of sitting there, and my mom's like, you can go to like Perimeter. Well, out here we call it Georgia Perimeter. It's like like if you can't figure out, you know, you just go to Perimeter until you figure it out. So she had went to this wedding. The dude's rest in peace. This dude named Mr. Menifee. He run like he from the West Side, but he run like like youth, like giving back to the youth type of movement. And she went to this wedding, and so happened he cool with the Commodores. Okay. They went to went to Tuskegee, Lionel Richie. Yeah. So during the reception, the Commodores is giving this, like, they sent this video message in. Lionel Richie, some of the people from Tuskegee, Tom Joyner, and everybody there. So they got to talking. They was like, "Oh, your son, he a senior. Where he going to school?" She was like, she kind of like embarrassed, like, "Oh, he undecided. Like he trying to figure it out."
Trying to make it
she was like, "Well, all us, everybody here, we went to Tuskegee." And she was like, "Oh, what's that?" My mom from South Carolina. Yeah. So she don't really know about Tuskegee like that, other than the airmen. Yeah. So she was like, "Oh, what's that? Like, where that's at?" They was like, "It's in Alabama." Like when you get back to the house, check it out. If y'all interested, just hit us up. We'll see what we can do. So she come back to the house like, "Damn, I know you ain't going nowhere, but like I met these older guys. They went to Tuskegee. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you don't know who these people, like at the time, I don't know who Lionel Richie is. Yeah. I heard of Tom Joyner because of the radio. Right. So she come back and she just like, okay, these guys, they said if you interested, like hit them up. Like they spoke highly about this school called Tuskegee. So I'm like, Tuskegee. I start looking it up. It looked country. Yeah, it looked kind of country. You know what I'm saying? The only idea I got of school is Drumline. Right. So she was like, man, you can't just sit in the house though. You got to do something. So I was just like, all right, bet. We looked into it. We reached out. We sent in like whatever my grades was that I had at the time. I was like, all right, we'll just wait till we hear something back. And then like 2 or 3 weeks later, we heard something back. And she was like, they accepted you. Like, it's only an hour 30 away. Let's drive down there and see what's up. We drove down to Tuskegee, and it looked just like the Drumline campus, like some of the stuff. Yeah. So all I'm thinking is, this shit in the middle of nowhere, but it remind me of one of my favorite movies, right? So I was like, all right, I'm down. Like let's do it. I'll come to Tuskegee, and that's how I end up coming to Tuskegee. Okay. So that's just like answering both questions. One, how I got there, and then like my upbringing from Atlanta. But how I got there, like Tuskegee played a major part because at the time I'm this wild kid from Atlanta. I ain't got no structure. Right. I don't know nothing about nothing. To be honest, like not really. You know what I'm saying? I'm around all these new people, and it's about black excellence. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm still wearing tall white tees, and you know what I'm saying, like just meeting people from Cali, New York, Philly. This is my first time really meeting people outside of Atlanta. Right. You know, Atlanta is a melting pot now, but back then it was not. You just rep your zone, and that was it. Like we only know Atlanta people. So Tuskegee kind of like opened me up. Like, oh, okay, like this shit's smooth. It's exposing me to new people. So I just kind of came down there with my authentic self and just was open for change. So yeah.
Okay. So
that's how I got down there.
You got something, Mike?
Nah, so when you were talking about with the drum line, like I know you like now getting into acting. Was that, did that play a part as far as
absolutely, yeah. So like initially, you know, just as a kid, you watch movies. You watch like everybody loved movies, but like Drumline was like, to be honest, Drumline was like the first movie where it was like, not to say all black, because I know Spike Lee did his things, like, but that's not my era technically, right? So my first, like, I'm 12, 13 years old watching Drumline, so technically an all black movie talking about all black colleges. You know, at the time we only seeing like more street movies in the A. Like you had other movies, but like as a teenager in Atlanta, I'm not watching the Denzel movie at this time. I'm not like digesting it the same way I would digest Drumline. So seeing Nick Cannon on screen and just like the way they embraced black culture, and I could relate to his story. A kid that didn't know what he was going to do. You know, he loved music but didn't know what school he was going to, college, and just came from New York down to the South and then exposed to something different. Like I could relate to that story. So that's the only idea I had of college. And the crazy thing is my dad, you know, he probably don't want me to say all, but my dad didn't go to school. So I don't have, you know, other people, they granddad, school, they mama, you know, like I'm kind of like technically first generation because my mom did go to school, but for some reason growing up, she didn't mention it that often, you know what I'm saying? So it was still brand new. So Drumline was like one of those movies for me where I was like, damn, I'm into music and you can do this school thing. And he made it look cool. He made it look cool. So Drumline played like a super huge, honestly, a super huge role from a music standpoint, college standpoint, and acting and like filmmaking. So yeah, and I think the story is about I forget, he's a producer out here. I forget his name. He owns Stank On. Yeah, I'm gonna remember it later and bring it up. But yeah, but Drumline played a huge role.
That's what's up.
Okay, so you get to Tuskegee and you majored in. I know you was in that
marketing.
business house with me. Okay, marketing. So marketing.
Yeah.
And so you come out into the workforce and you initially initially did what?
So just to rewind, so when I came into Tuskegee, if y'all remember, I was doing a lot of battle rapping and music and all that. Yeah. So at the time, my focus was still like, I'm gonna play the school route, but I still just want to be a rapper, right? Like that was my main focus. This was like Big Sean, Wale, J. Cole era. Drake had just came out. So MySpace was moving to Facebook, that type of era. So like I needed a camera. I knew YouTube was popping and I was like, damn, I was calling some people in Auburn because they were shooting some really dope stuff. Even some of the guys were shooting for Trinidad James. So I called them and I was like, man, how much for a video? And it was like $800. As a college kid, I don't have $800. Right? Yeah, I don't have $800. So I was like, damn, okay, I'm not gonna be able to shoot no music videos, which is why y'all probably just saw like the little videos with, you know, Recipe J Keys and Dame and Billy Watts. Well, at Jesse, we was doing the music just in the dorm room with a little small camera. So in the back of my mind the whole time, I'm saving money when I come home for the summer, but I know I need a camera because I can't afford a music video. I have to have a camera so I can shoot my own videos. So my ambition for just wanting to be a rapper and shooting my own music videos introduced me to a camera because I had some money saved up to do some other things on campus, but I was like, I just love music so much.
I gotta get this camera.
I gotta get the camera. It was, I came home for the summer and music was just at an all-time high and I just was like, I gotta be a part of this. So I remember calling my mom. I went to Montgomery. It was a Best Buy in Montgomery and I was like, yo, like, you know, I want to apply for a credit card. I got some bread I can put down on it. And I bought a Canon Rebel. And from there, once I had got that camera, introduced me to film. So to speed up, to fast forward, I was making a little money at Tuskegee shooting, you know, Greek videos for people, some music videos, taking graduation photos, selling relos on the side, other shit like that. Yeah, exactly. I was doing some of everything. So if you went to Tuskegee, you know, like I had a hustle. I was Uber Eats before Uber Eats because people could buy, you could text me and I would deliver the relos to you without you having to get up and all that. But it was supporting my rap hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Boy was different.
Yeah. So hell yeah. So it was supporting my rap hustle at the time. Bought the camera, ended up making enough money to buy a Mac because I didn't know at the time. Oh, you buy this expensive camera, you got to have something to edit it on, right?
I was just telling them, man.
Yeah. So all this hard drives, you got to have the money. So fast forward, I leave school. I got about $3,000. I buy a Mac and just a little bit of extra pocket change. At the time when we get out of school, the economy was a little wonky, so jobs wasn't just hiring.
Right.
Honestly, no black kids coming out of HBCU. So first thing I'll do is lean on my camera. So that's like when I came back to Atlanta. I had my homeboy, my best friend, like his name Dwayne Farrell. He was like my manager at the time, music manager, but also he like getting me film jobs too. So we met this guy named Robert Ector. He did. Paco met him. His name, I call him Paco, but Paco met him. He's a celebrity photographer. He owns this studio. He used to own it. It's called Taylor Ector Studios out here in Atlanta. He gave me my first shot. Like, he gave me my first shot to be around celebrities, teach me about lighting, teach me about photography. I was like a PA, like a production assistant. So I was the little homie that would come through the studio. I'm like, yo, what can I do? Like, I'm going to stay here all day. Right. You want me to clean up? Like I'll take pictures. I'll do. So he was just like, so he was just like, look, man, like I like you, cool. My first thing I did for him, he shot. Y'all might have heard of it, but we shot this DVD called Black Girls Workout 2, and it went crazy for him. It made him and his family a lot of money. He paid me, but like he was like, man, like this did really well for us. Come back, I'm gonna tie you on to my packages. So when he would shoot like Lala, Kelly Rowland, Mary J, he was shooting the Braxton show at the time with VH1. He was like, I'm gonna have you do the BTS. And that was my first crash course to film. He taught me everything. He sold me my first camera, like outside of the one I bought in school. He showed me my first real camera. So and that's what introduced me to film. So honestly, like Rob, if you're watching this, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't have to take a chance on somebody that you don't know. Young, I was like 19, 20 years old at the time. So yeah, Rob Ector gave me my first shot.
Shout out to Rob.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rob. So you jumped straight out of school, pretty much into film.
Yeah. Working 2 jobs.
2 jobs.
Yeah. I was working at Saks Fifth, and y'all might not have heard of this. It's called H.H. Gregg. It's like
I remember
it's like a bootleg
like
Best Buy.
Best Buy.
So I'm hustling H.H. Gregg. Yeah. I'm doing the film when I'm not working, and then I'm doing the sell clothes over at Saks Fifth. So my mom was basically like, if you're gonna be at the crib, it's cool, but just like work. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? I go get a job. I ain't scared to work or nothing like that. I've been working since I was 16. My first job was at Route 21. So like I was retail all day long.
You be in retail game.
Yeah, exactly. So I knew my gift to gab was there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was working 2 jobs, doing film, trying to freelance hustle, the music video hustle is what we call it. You know, running gun, just guerrilla style shooting, just like, look, here go my rates, let me know, that type of hustle. So yeah.
So we gonna get back to that that guerrilla style of shooting, but we gonna stay on your trajectory. So you've been rapping, you know, you obviously got the rap influence, but then you picked up the camera.
Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, you know, the people that know you. You kind of seen the transition, but talk to our listeners about how going from rap, now you kind of picking up the camera, you seeing things beyond it. One, talk to me, how did like rap and making music assist you in kind of transitioning into film? Like were there any things you learned from music that helped you transition?
For sure. So the biggest thing I tell people is because like when you think about rap, everybody want to be the J. Cole, the Drakes, the Big Seans, right? So that's your initial first goal. It's like, I want to make it. Yeah. But the biggest thing I tell people, like my success story is like rap made me resourceful, right? Rap, the number one thing I learned from rap is it made me resourceful, right? So like I not only had to write the song, find the beat, pick my treatment, pick something that fit my brand, right? Because a lot of times when you starting out rapping, you're doing shit that's like off brand for you because you're trying to like fit in, right? You're trying to find your lane, find your voice, find your niche. So like rap taught me how to like be resourceful. Like even like one of my favorite rappers, Kanye, and I like love Ye because he was the first person that made me feel like comfortable in being in my own skin, like being me. I didn't have to like do some off-brand shit that didn't match who I was. So to me, for the listeners, rap was like my launch pad that taught me how to be resourceful. It taught me how to budget my money. It taught me time management. It taught me marketing. It taught me branding. Because coming from the era where it's like iTunes is non-existent, so CDs hustle, it's the mixtape hustle. Then they switched. CDs are now gone. Learn iTunes, learn Facebook, learn Instagram. Like we're constantly learning, and that's business, right? So like Apple, Tesla, all these companies, whatever, any Fortune 500, every time something changes, you have to stay afloat, right? So it's the same with rap. It's the same with film. So if I did not start with rap and I just jumped in with film, I wouldn't have all those like attributes that prepared me and honestly propelled me in that space, because I would get to a film set and they would be complaining like, oh no, we don't have this or da da da. I'm like, bro, I would set up my whole shoot because I'm trying to get this music video down. So I'm like, I'm not complaining. I'm looking at their stuff like, damn, they don't even know what they got in here. Like at some point, sometimes I would hire, this is a cheat code if anybody want to use it. I would hire certain camera ops or hire different music video directors because I just wanted to see what equipment they were using. Like I just wanted to see like, damn, okay, that's how you set that up, or that's how you do that shot. So by the time I got into film, not only did I know how to make the subject, whether it be me or somebody else, look good, because the ego of rap is like, well, shit, I got to make sure this lighting hit me right. I got to make sure my outfit makes sense. I got to make sure this treatment match the song, because this has to, be delivered to the listeners, has to like make sense. So honestly, rap made me extremely resourceful, and honestly, it's probably the best starting point that I could ask for. Like, so I could beat myself up, like, damn, I wanted to be Drake though, but it's like, but film just opened so many other doors. So I can't be mad at rap. Rap introduced me to film,
and it would seem to me, speaking to how you told the story, music is much more a passion than yours than it is an end goal. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So like you making the music always made you happy anyway.
There you go.
Like you say, reading in the notes, you say you stumbled on film, and I'm kind of on the same type of shit, because it's like I just wanted to talk. Like it was like it's like you feel like like damn, how do I make myself? How do I make myself heard? So it's like, all right, I'm gonna start a podcast. This is way before the the podcast era. I'm just like, all right, you want to be heard. If ESPN ain't gonna let you in, if CNN ain't gonna let you in, this way before the free market. You got to create your own voice. But through that, it was like, I wanted to like do a video pod, and I realized like, damn, I didn't have a lot of skills I needed. Yeah. And like you say, you remember when you went to the dude, like how much for the music video? And he said 800. It was like how much for one session in your studio for an episode, and it was like $250.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, it's not sustainable.
Yeah, right. Because you want to be consistent.
Yeah, it's like sustainability.
And people don't think about that. Like,
that's the key if you want to be successful in anything. Because I realized watching you, like you say, you bought the Rebel 10, 15 years ago. I bought that shit like 4, 5. So you feel me? This shit take time. So like, to be sustainable, you got to be able to come and do this shit over and over and over and over again. And so I realized like I had to eliminate them roadblocks. So it was like, all right, I'm going to go buy a camera. Now it's like you said, I told them that, and like once you get this fancy camera, you gotta have something to use this motherfucker. Or you just gotta fire a camera, but you gonna fry your computer.
Exactly,
that bitch gonna crash the minute. It's going to crash the minute you try to do something. It's gonna just stop doing it. It's gonna go black, and you just gonna try to do it again, and you're gonna realize it's not happening.
And it's true, bro. It's crazy. It's like an analogy. It's like every level you go up, it's going to be some more hurdles. You get what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't matter. Every time you upgrade a camera, it's going to. You have to buy other things for it. You know what I mean? And it's like so. So the camera, film, and film cameras like an analogy of life. Like every time you go up, expect some type of hurdle. It's not going to be like a cakewalk when you get up there. So it's just like you got to go big or go home. You get what I'm saying? It's like that's just the nature of the environment for it. You can work with what you got. You see people all the time.
You want to keep elevating. That's why you're buying the camera. So
you got your vision of how big you want to take it. So
and like you said, if it's a hobby and you just yeah, you can play around. But if you serious about some shit, you want to be competitive.
Exactly.
I don't know many humans. People say they're not competitive, but I don't know many humans that things they care about. That level of like that competitive spirit gets to you. So it's like when you get in a space and you stumble on the space. For me, it was like podcasting introduced me to, that visual art.
Bingo.
Which is an art form. So it's like, I'm like, damn, I just found my passion through this, but it's like you realize like, damn, it's just
that's why you can't hate on what stage you in. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, sometimes you'll be like, damn, like, but I'm trying to do it big, like, bro, over there. And that's why I don't never hate on, like, say if you bought your camera 4 or 5 years after me and you're doing better than me, a lot of times people start hating on you like, oh, well, I've been in this shit longer. But it's not about that. Like, you got to understand, you can learn from the new guy, you can learn from the old guy. You got to just be open in this business. You can't like hate on nobody just because they started later. You get what I'm saying?
That shit don't do nothing for you, man. But people can't help but to hate, man.
Yeah, it's an old school mentality
for sure.
But getting back to your story. You move up in the film. You work with a lot of brands. I see Uggs. Hold on, let me get to my list. Uggs, Under Armour, Steph. Yep. I see you behind the scenes at VH1, different shows, the Braxtons, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. What is one or two of your favorite kind of experiences, either in rap or film, that just kind of left a impact on you long term?
Let me see. All right, so it's a lot. I think two stick out. I'll do film first.
Okay.
I think being able to film like for Steph Curry's brand was dope because so I was already working with Under Armour, and what we would do with Under Armour was new. They was trying to get into the sports space. I mean, they was already in it from a football perspective, but they was trying to win over the basketball. Basketball is already taken.
Okay, so this is the early Steph.
This is the early Steph.
Steph Lana.
Yes, this is early Steph. So basically, Steph, if you know about Steph Curry's story, like it was a big risk for him taking Under Armour. Everybody wanted him, but Under Armour. He went with Under Armour. So equity. There you go. So when we initially are like trying to position a product with a new consumer base, especially one like hoopers, you know what I'm saying? Like Nike, Reebok, Adidas, they already have like a really strong like fan base, core base. Right. So being able to work with the teams, the PR teams, the marketing teams to they sent us his shoes. And we had to have meetings about it, and we had to actually like figure out how we're going to position it. But it wasn't just about that. It was about them trusting a young black kid from Atlanta. They liked my style of shooting. It was edgy, but it had storyline, and it was lifestyle. So this was Steph's first lifestyle type of shoe. If you guys know, like Steph's shoes more like, it's ergonomics. It's for the court.
Yeah, they clown that first.
Yeah, you're not dressing your flair.
No, that first one though, they worked it.
They might be trash. But culturally, they weren't for us. But I used to be in them leagues. People had them. They're not culturally ours, but he had a market for sure. Yeah,
but basically, like nobody was rocking them, right? You're not rocking them with your fit. So it was dope to be able to. And the shoe did well that we shot, but it was dope to be able to position that shoe, work with Under Armour to pitch these proof of concepts, is what we call them. And they picked up some of them. So that was my first opportunity of one, working with kind of being like the only black guy, all white film team, them trusting me. Like I was one of the main camera ops directors that day, and they let me hire my own cast. So I grabbed kids from the neighborhood that I knew that could actually hoop, and they were super thankful, and they sent shoes to the kids and everything like that. So one that stuck out to me because that was my first time like where I was empowered to kind of. They trust me on set, like this, like we trust you. Whatever you want, the drones right here. You want this shot. You want like we gonna make it make sense for you. So that was super dope. That allowed me to be like, okay, this is how this works. This is the assembly line of all this. This is like the hierarchy. It made sense. So from a film perspective, that was dope. In short, the VH1 shooting with the Braxtons was super dope. Because that was my first big check out of college, where I was like. I got the check from working with them, and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, I could do this." Like the check. So working with the Braxtons, and I met all of them, all the sisters, Tony, Tamar, everybody. That was dope. But so the Braxtons, the VH1 Braxton show, and Under Armour with Steph Curry would be my top from the film side, but from the music side, and it's kind of like. Some coincidences with that because one of the guys followed me from the Under Armour shoot, and he was like, "Man, you didn't say at all that you did music while you was on set. Like your music is dope." So he was like, "Tell you what, let me pitch this over to Under Armour and see if they like it. We could probably use it in like some commercial type stuff." So one of the songs got picked up, and that was my first music placement. So it's crazy that one of my first film placements got me one of my first music placements. Yeah, so and that's how I got into the world of sync licensing because that was my first one. I didn't know about it. When I saw the check and I was like, and they was like, "Yeah, we'll give you this every 6 months, every time we use it." So I was like, "Okay, cool." You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to go do shows. I don't got to convince people. I listen to my music. Like, damn, sync licensing like make you this much money. So it's crazy. The Steph Curry film job got me the Under Armour sync licensing. So. That's one of the top music things, the connection between that. But also, shout out to my dog, Jervon. He went to school with us. I think he was a little bit older than us at Tuskegee. But he was watching me hustle my music at Tuskegee. And when we got back to Atlanta, I was going to release this album called The Past 10 Years. It never came out, but some of the songs came out. And he pitched it over to T.I. T.I., I was asleep. And one day in my condo, phone ring. I actually wake up. I say hello, and I can hear his voice on the like yo, what's up, bro? And I'm like, yeah, who this? He like, this Tip. I'm like, nah, like word, because most times when people be like, nah, my cousin, right, blah blah blah, you be like, all right, bro, yeah. But bro actually was like he followed through. And I was like, damn, that's big because like we don't have the tightest relationship, but we was always cool at school. But because we used to ride back home together. We from Atlanta. We like, hey, bro, just drop me on the west side. I'm going to the east. So Tip hit me and was like, yeah, man, I'm having a writer's camp. Swing through. I fuck with your album. Swing through. Like I like your stuff. So I pulled up and like being around big rappers, they start their session super late. Like I start my session late, but they start their shit like hella late, like midnight. 1 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? It's just starting. So when I walk in, first dude I see was it's a rapper from LA. He got a record with Dom Kennedy. I think his name is Scheme.
Okay, I fuck with Scheme. Inglewood Scheme.
Yeah. Scheme was at the front door, and I think Scheme got this record with Dom Kennedy called Black Bentleys. And I think it's called Black Bentleys. And I used to always love Scheme verse. So Scheme is hard. So as soon as I see him, I'm like, yo, I rock with you, bro. Like da. Like, mind you, I don't even know it's other celebrities in there. Like it's other like top writers in there. So I'm just happening with Scheme. Boom. All right, boom. I walk in and it's a bunch of people that I look up to in there. But I'm trying to play it cool. This is my first time really being around some big, I feel I'm trying to act like I've been here before. So I'm over here chilling. I'm hitting like, bro, like, hey, when Tip coming, that's why I'm here. And he was like, he'll be here. He be on his own schedule. So about 30 minutes later, he walk in. He got his sons with him and everything. Everybody cooling. He walk in. He like, what's up, bro? Da. We tap in. So we all go into this studio. It's this production company called 1500 or Nothing. I think they based in LA. But it's this dude named Mars. He was like running the production that day. He's dope. Y'all should check him out too. But we go in there. Everybody in there writing, penning stuff. I'm over here like he can tell like I'm kind of messing with the beat. So I'm in my phone kind of like, but I'm trying not to overstep my boundaries. My first time. Yeah. It's my first session in there. So he was just like, hey, what you got? Like, let me hear what you got. So he was like, all right, hold on, let me play his album. So he played a couple songs from my album. Everybody fucking with it. They turned back on the beat. I'm writing to it. He like, hey, just go in there, just rap that shit. So now everybody like, oh shit, well, Tip threw him in there. Like he gotta be straight. So I'm in my head. I'm trying to concentrate on the song, but it's a like euphoric moment happening right now. It's like manifestation. Like I grew up listening to T.I. Like you got to understand. Like that's our Snoop. That's our that's real. Dre. That's our Outkast. You know what I'm saying? Like that's our foundation. This T.I. Mm-hmm. So I got the headphones on, and I got the verse written. It's like a 12. I got the verse written, but he talking to me through the soundboard. If you've been to a studio, you understand what I'm saying. He talking to me like, yo. So basically, how the song set up. You gonna come in right here, right after you hear me rap right here. You gonna come in right here, like I'm just punch in right here. Boom. All right. So he talking to me. I'm trying to concentrate, but at the same time, like, damn, this what I always dreamed of. So I'm trying to. It's like damn, like this what I always dreamed of.
It's a real movie, right?
So by the time I'm having this moment, I'm slick grinning. You feel me? Like I'm trying to hide the moment. Like I'm trying to like damn, like this T.I. Like. In my head, like nigga, I done made it, bro. Like, this, like you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You like this? What I always dreamed of in high school? Like, yeah, like in my head, I'm like, nigga, I knew I was dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like this is my moment, bro. Like I'm in my head, but I gotta concentrate on the song because everybody out there like waiting on me to like finish the verse, right? So like he played a beat, I finished. Like I ain't gonna lie, the first time I was like, oh, like let me redo that. Let me punch back in. And then of course I got in my bag, my zone. Knocked out the verse, came out, kind of nervous because I'm like, damn, bro, like I don't know, the niggas like it or they not. But like when I came out, niggas was like, they was giving you that nod of approval, like, hey, lil' homie hard. You know, now mind you, if you listen to me rap, I'm not like a Southern style rapper like Tip. So they was in there like on some trap rap shit. So technically, my verse, like I rock with it, but I know it could have been on, like I could have made it fit more of the record. Yeah. So I think he knew that too, and he was like, "Now we gonna like come to some more sessions because this session was more for this type of beat. I got some other records, but just to answer your question, of course that was a long story long. To answer your question, that moment was so pivotal for me. Like if T.I. don't do anything else for me, Jervon or Tip and that whole camp don't do anything else for me, it taught me one thing, that manifestation is real. You can ask my mama, her room was right under mine. I swear to God, every night for years I would play beats and the bass would come through her room. But because she know I love music, she would just let me just get my shit off. Right. Y'all gotta understand, I was penning records every night. I'm writing freestyles. I'm writing songs. Some of the freestyles are to his beats. When I play basketball, I'm warming up to ASAP, like Urban Legend. Like I'm warming up to like some of my first hip hop memories is to 24. Like I'm trying not to fan out. You get what I'm saying? Over. So if he don't do shit else for me, it taught me one thing. Like nigga, your hustle can get you to where you want to go, but you just gotta trust it. You gotta trust it. So when I left home that night, when I drove home, now mind you, I still got a 9 to 5. Yeah, I gotta clock in. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody else going to sleep. I don't know what they do. You feel me? But I'm leaving there and I'm grinning all the way home, bro, because I felt like this is real. Like it can happen. Until something like that happened, where you hearing the rappers that you grew up and just like you honor them so much, you just look up to them so much. When you hear them talking in your headphones and they telling you punching right here, bro, there's no other feeling. Like that's like I don't need nothing else from rap, bro. That was my thing of like, hey, like you dope, bro. Like that was the cosign. Like yeah, that. And I didn't put it on the gram. I didn't do the most, but like to me, it affirmed like, hey, this right here is like, this is manifestation at its finest. From writing on them little notebooks to this person's beat to me being right there rapping with him. I ain't need nothing else. He ain't have to put me on the song. He ain't have to. Of course, it led to other opportunities, but that was all I needed.
Shows you can ride the bike for real.
Bingo, bro. So that moment right there was, to me, everything I needed from music.
Yeah. Shout out.
That's real. Shout out to TIP.
Yeah, shout out to T.I. for sure.
Shout out to Rob.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Shout out to Javon.
Because he put it together.
Yeah.
And I was selfless of him because a lot of people don't have to do that. And he believed in me. And I honestly forever indebted for that.
Tuskegee be fucking with Tuskegee.
Yeah, Tuskegee family is tight. So
it's tight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
It's a cult, man. Shout out to it. Shout out to Tuskegee. Shout out to all that. Mike Twain, y'all got any questions?
Oh man, I'm in here enjoying the story, man. I always wonder, we in the business house, but how did you pivot into film? And I'm getting a crash course right here. It's always been there, truthfully.
Yeah. And if you probably saw me walking around campus with that.
Niggas seen it.
Most people I know some people have like, bro, you rapping? What you walking around with a camera for? But like, I had a vision. I had a vision for it. So. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely, niggas seen all that shit. We was at the fucking release parties.
Yep.
Niggas remember music videos.
I remember the beats. You remember that they was beefing back in the day?
Yeah.
Rap beats.
The rap beats. Yeah. We was doing it all.
Lit, right?
It was though. We had that shit. Felt like some world star moments right there.
It was good.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like. But that is crazy because them all my homies to this day. We was homies then. We just was putting on for the, for the campus. You know what I'm saying? It drove the buzz.
I mean, niggas was recorded in the same spot. Somebody was beefing.
Yeah. We all was homies, man. Yeah, for
it's
sure.
An art form, man.
For sure.
Man.
So for the music videos and the rap industry, how did it change from back then to now? Like, how would you think as far as like shooting movie music videos or like rapping?
Yeah, no, for sure. That's a good question. So like, it's a lot more user friendly now, right? So back in the day, you kind of really had to have like a big production treatment. Like, put it this way, nobody would take you seriously if you. Currency was the first rapper I saw that shot lifestyle videos. So he was with Creative Control and Cootie and Chike. They shot the Kanye West documentary that everybody loved. I think it's called Genius.
Yeah, I remember.
So Currency was the first rapper where I was like, okay, you can make these videos user friendly. You could shoot it on one camera. So back then it was tougher. You couldn't convince somebody that you was a dope rapper if it didn't look like it was a big production. Now, when you look at the Currency, Wiz Khalifa, Chief Keef, when Chief Keef shot it in his house with his homies, one shot, nothing, shirtless,
niggas
smoking.
doing the day-to-day.
It was rugged. It was rugged, and that's a part of the edginess about it. The appeal is that authenticity, right? It's so to answer your question, the biggest difference is the independence of shooting something yourself and being raw and authentic and letting the viewer feel that. That's the biggest difference. So it allowed more artists to take control of their, I guess you could say, their narrative versus saying, well, they're gatekeeping because they're charging this amount of money for a music video, which is crazy, right?
The budgets used to be crazy.
The budgets was wild. Now you could shoot an amazing video for like, man, honestly, under $5,000, probably under $1,000 if you're creative enough. Yeah. So, but that's, to answer your question, that's the biggest difference. It's like, I'm lucky to even be a part of the era that got an opportunity to shoot on DSLRs and cameras like this, shoot more lifestyle stuff where I don't gotta go hire models and let's rent out this club and money falling from the ground.
The barrier entry lowered for real.
There you go.
You feel me? Everybody got the technology, so now it's not so hard. I don't need the studio budget to get this shit done.
There you go, bro.
Truthfully, niggas want to see this.
That's it.
They want to see it raw.
They want to see it raw. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm glad for the internet. Like, it's this producer named Large Professor. That's his Nas producer. He produced a lot of records on Illmatic. He was like, hip hop is connected to technology. So you got to think, every time technology advance, hip hop advance.
Yeah.
So there you go. So it's the idea that It sounds crazy. Most people don't think hip hop and film are so connected, but they are.
Yeah.
Because film is nothing more than technology. So as technology advanced, film advanced, which allows that barrier of entry to open doors for you to come and start your own podcast and then be like, you know what? That shot looked pretty good. What if I did a scene?
Right.
Then what if I turn that into a movie? What if I
That's what kind of pushed me is like, because before you couldn't, like, it was so many, no matter where you wanted to go and what industry, it was gatekeepers sitting way up high with whatever expectations for the field is, you know what I mean? Whether you want to go be a lawyer, you got to hit these numbers, pass these tests, have these certs. You know, if you want to be in sports, you know, everybody loves sports, you know, so motherfuckers want to be the next Stuart Scott, but it's like, shit, you got to sit up in here, get shit on for 20 years.
Come on.
And maybe get your shot. Right. But it's 40,000 of us working at ESPN that all want to be on this one camera, you feel me? And now it's like you see the new media, and I respect it. Like, people like, is it saturated? To me, nah, it's still a ton of space for motherfuckers to come in here and eat.
It's insane. Yeah. Like, I think people underestimate how much space it is out here for everybody.
Because once people got a taste of, like,
but you got your niche, it's solid.
Yeah,
I probably listen to 10 podcasts just in rotation,
right? Because it's
everybody can do that shit.
For everybody, like, it's a space for naked cooks. It's a space for fucking world class chefs.
Yeah, it's not a space for naked chefs.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a space for like naked. You know what I'm saying? You everybody
freaky
can
ass boys.
Yeah, everybody can't eat.
I was out catering to you.
I don't need a naked chef, my nigga.
Oh, yeah, he different.
No. Even before I didn't need no naked chef. You know what I'm saying? Keep the titties away from my eggs, please.
But I'm just saying, like, this, once people got a taste, and you see, like, especially in like film and media, you see like once the athletes started to like cut the middleman out, we tell you straight up, you see like, oh yeah, people really do fuck with this authenticity. Fuck them shirts, fuck them ties, fuck them expectations, fuck them $1 billion budgets and all these fancy ass
need
cameras.
It, bro. We in it for perspective, bro. Like, I like when I can, bro. I want to hear Paul George perspective. I want to hear JJ Redick perspective. I want to hear Shannon Sharp perspective. I want to hear Cameron perspective on it. All of it is connected. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's synonymous. It's like that's the culture pushes everything forward. So the fact that they were trying to limit us, and the internet is just like breaking down. It's like, all right, let's go. Come on, the door is open, y'all. Let's keep coming through.
That's why Shannon Sharp, they got him on a part-time deal with ESPN. He making more money than he was with Fox. So they know if Pat McAfee, they was shitting on him on ESPN. He went and made his own shit, got lit. Now he's cussing and calling motherfuckers talking about LSD and all type of shit. Disney just had to like
rocking the tank top and shit.
Disney had to let it ride. They was like, whatever, bro. If they was gonna compete,
Stephen A. wear that suit though.
Oh,
they got to keep it balanced. They can't let it go.
No, Stephen A. gonna hold
still
it down
working
for the
Stephen A.
Yeah. But they realize like people want that edge and people want that realness.
It's important, man. It's so important.
One thing, getting back to kind of just your upbringing and circling back on that, you spoke to how your father was in a band.
Yep.
Music was around you. It led to kind of you picking up music, learning how to read music, learning how to play instruments.
Yep.
You a father now.
Oh, yeah.
How does knowing how that impacted you and your trajectory, how does that kind of impact you now in actively creating that environment for your son?
Yeah, for sure. And shout out to my son. To me, it's about exposure, right? So like, my pops could only offer me what he was exposed to.
Right.
So naturally, he understood one thing. I exposed them to entertainment and music early enough. And I've been doing plays before, like I was acting before I was doing music.
Right.
I've been doing plays and memorizing lines since I was probably like 6-7 years old. I can remember this for sure. So the fact that my father knew, like, okay, this is what I'm into, so I'm gonna expose him. If your pops was a hooper, that's why you see the 4 and 5 year olds practicing dribbling drills and all these things. My pops was a musician, so you got to understand, like, all I knew was I would come home and I would just hear music. When my father gets mad to this day, he goes downstairs and plays his guitar. So I know when the house got bad energy in there.
Tension in there.
It's tense. He playing guitar. All right, they just got into an argument. But you got to understand, I'm listening to music. I'm listening to him like mess up the chord 100 times until he get it right. I'm going downstairs and being like, all right, well, I'm gonna just color down here and just watch him do his thing, because I'm like, at the time, you know what I'm saying, like I ain't had a new PS this, and so I'm around music. To eventually he was just like, hey, like, oh, try this or try that, try this. Like, so to answer your question, to be honest, exposure is key. I want to not guide my son too harshly, because I want him to be his own person, but I want to expose him to as much as I can, because exposure is everything. Like, it makes or break you. Like, my wife's from Delaware. I don't really know a lot of people from up north. So when I met her, it was a lot of things that people from the north are exposed to that people from the south are not exposed to. It's a different level of quality, taste. So you got to understand the dynamics of a household. I got to have respect for the things that she's exposed to, and she has to have the things that I'm exposed to, and the balance of that, to plate it correctly for a child when he's old enough to digest it, is the idea. So to be honest, the importance of exposure is key. I want to expose him to music. I want to expose him to entertainment. I want to expose him to academics, reading, acting, and not just the play acting, like the skits. Like, I understand the art of acting, like the emotion that it takes, the drive that it takes. Same with music, but anything, art. Let's go to some museums. What do you feel? What this type of art is called this, or this type of art is called that. You know, understanding the business of art. You know what I'm saying? All these things that come with culture. To me, I just want it to be like a culture smash for him, because the idea is, I don't ever want him to feel like, what if I don't make it? It should never feel like that. It should feel like I am blank. Like, if I'm a musician, regardless if I get paid for it or not. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the biggest thing. People don't understand that just because you have a title, you get what I'm saying, doesn't mean that equates to money. Doesn't mean that equates to authenticity, and like all these things that are important to keep what I would consider the rawness about something, or I guess you can just say the realness about whatever it is you're into. Social media does this weird like mind fuck, excuse my French, to every industry, right? It's, if you're doing music, like if you look on social right now, well, it convinces you that you're not going to get views if you don't do it this way, or if you're doing music, you have to do it this way, or if you're doing dance, you have to do it this way. It's like, I just want to be, and I just want to teach my son that, listen, if God grants you that, cool, but enjoy just being in the environment of this thing, because black people have this special magic about us where we can pull out the like magic of like like whatever that culture is. Like if it's sports, look at Kyrie, how he almost dribble like it's a rhythm. That's special. Like it's part of it's a rhythm. Like, it's not like the moves that he's doing. Some of that shit you can't go learn. It's a rhythm in his head. If you look at even take Basquiat, like the way he's painting, it's not on some Michelangelo 16 chat. He's just being. He's just being. You look at Chris Brown when he dances, Stevie Wonder when he sings, all these people that like they're just being, and we enjoy them just being. Like, and same with Iverson. Anybody, you take anybody. Look at Childish Gambino. Look at Spike Lee. Some of these guys are just like being themselves. Like, they're not trying to be this person. They're just being, and that's one thing I always love. Like, I don't care, bro. Like, I don't have to be competing with the top person. I just want to be. If you love me for just being and you watch me just be, we cool. Yeah. Come enjoy, because that's all. People be like, you should be more consistent. You should drop this type of content, and you should all these you shoulds. And it was like, how about you, like, let me just be on my journey, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm learning. I don't want to be an expert. Yeah. I want you to just see me raw. I want you to see when I win. I want you to see when I lose. I want you to see when I'm confused, when I'm trying to figure it out, because it's like that's where the beauty of it is. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like
that's what you look back and see.
Yeah, bro. It's like too many people trying to just
figure it out.
Yeah, bro. It's like it don't take all that, y'all. Like if you got a clothing brand, like just be the best designer that you can be. You gonna find your niche, which is yeah. So yeah, but nah, that's one word, exposure, is what I definitely just want to give to my son.
So shout out to that.
Yeah, for sure.
One last question on this, gonna be like a double edge, and then we're gonna get to the. We got a little topic. This is springtime coming up. But speaking to acting, and Actual Author, the brand. I want to talk about the brand Actual Author. Tell us about Actual Author, and also tell us about kind of how filmmaking, because we did almost miss this part. Introduce you into. You say you've been doing plays, but like, what is? Let me step back. Tell us about Actual Author.
Yeah.
And then let's just tell us about the niche that you're trying to get into with acting, filmmaking. Like, where do you see yourself sitting long term?
For sure. Well, Actual Author it's a streetwear brand that I love. So people don't understand. Like, so my dad, when he gets mad, he picks up his instruments, right? When I get upset or mad or just things are too much, I go window shopping. I shop. I've always done this. Like, I can do it by myself. I can put my headphones on. I can do it. So I've always loved fashion. I've always looked up to Pharrell. Not just saying his name because he's having a moment right now, but this is something that I've always loved. So when I first, Actual Authors foundation is just about only you can decide how your story is told. And the reason why I picked that as our mission statement, our slogan, our motto, is because so many times people want to tell you how your story should go, or based on this is your outcome, or you'll never be blank, or you just trying to be like this person.
Right.
It's like, all right, listen, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people fall short to, like, some people only take guidance to the crowd. Like, the crowd dictates their every move.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to kind of like grab my power back and say, like, listen, only I decide how my story is told. So if I want to do music on Tuesday and I want to act on Wednesday and then I want to do such and such on Friday, I decide that. And everyone has a story, and I wanted to create a brand where it made everyone, no matter what industry you in, you feel like, yeah, man, bro, these folks can't tell me I can't do something. Right. To me, hip hop, right? Hip hop started off as like what I would consider resourceful, right? They took this sound, they would beat on this. And then the MC did this, and the DJ did this, right? Right? But they're taking from all these things and they're making something great. That's the definition of hip hop from a standpoint of like a verb, right? Mm-hmm. To me, in 2024, hip hop is multifaceted. That is the definition of hip hop. Hip hop is Jay-Z starting here and ending here. Like his trajectory is hip hop. That definition is hip hop. And I don't like when people, hip hop is bigger than what the initial verb. It grew. You know what I'm saying? We celebrating 50 years and people don't understand what Nipsey did. That's hip hop. Mm-hmm. What Pinky Cole is doing with Slutty Vegan, that's hip hop, bro. Starting here and going here. What Childish Gambino, what Will Smith did, that's hip hop, bro. You're not saying that's not hip hop. People can say, well, no, they're just diversifying. They're just rebranding themselves. No, bro, that's hip hop. If you can start with one art form and add things to it, just like you did with those beats back in the day when they came up with new technology, and you could add a new sound and you could make different, you adding a melting pot of things, you're diversifying, you're multifaceted, you're adding new samples to your thing. That's hip hop. So in its very art form, that's what actual author is. That, bro. Actual author is saying, I decide how this story goes. I decide what I'm gonna do in it, and it just embodies empowerment. You know what I'm saying? So I I love what it represents. I love how it's being received. And one thing that I really am doing, just like I do anything else, is I'm pushing myself to learn about the aesthetics of graphic design. What do these textures mean? What is this GSM? What does this mean? Like the weight, how do I feel? What does this logo like? A lot of times you get into it, people like make a little hoodie, make a little hat, make a little t-shirt, make some shorts, and you kind of just throw it together because you're trying to get your hustle on, you're trying to make money. But to me, I'm growing past that. I started there too, but I'm growing past that, and I'm understanding, like, I want, when people see my brand, for them to feel something. And what people don't understand is certain fonts have feeling. Yeah. When you see a certain font, it's like, damn, why am I drawn to this BBC font? Why am I drawn to this Bape logo? Why am I drawn to Louis Vuitton? Why does the damier squares grab me this way? Why does the hues of these colors, Bottega and all these, when you really dig deep, these things all have meaning. And to me, that's hip hop, bro. That's hip hop. Hip hop is the silver lining of all this shit. Oh, I will forever be indebted to hip hop, because hip hop taught me the one lesson that I needed to learn, and that's, hey, brother, when you understand what hip hop is, you understand hip hop is take lemon, make lemonade. Yeah, that's hip hop. Hip hop is resourceful. It's, hey, bro, at its purest form, hip hop is like, we not just gonna hustle. We gonna take this from this side, this from this from this, and we gonna make our own thing, and that's actual author, right? This is the foundation of it. That's where it starts. So actual author is so big. People don't understand how big it is, but they will. They will soon. They will soon. So that's actual author. But that's to answer your first question, and to answer your second question, I think you asked about, where do I see myself in film? Yeah, in like the long term. What do you for sure? Where you manifesting yourself in the next 10? To me, I feel like this is my personal goal for myself. I want to see my name in the likes of like Childish Gambino, Spike Lee, Ernest Dickerson, Issa Rae. Mm-hmm. These are and those are just some of the names that like we all know like currently, right? But I'm an editor. Like I edit film. So I want to be either known as a lead editor on whether it be my own projects or other people's, but also just a great director. Whether it be me acting in front of the camera, but I do my shit with directing. Like I've been around enough people where people like, you got it, bro. You could do something. So I want to be one of the top directors out here. This in the long term. And just to touch, if you don't mind, just to touch on, because I didn't say this when you asked me about it earlier. I met Issa Rae back in 2015. A good friend of mine used to show me her videos, Awkward Black Girl, on YouTube. And I met her in 2015, right before she got the HBO thing. I got a picture. I might send it to you. You probably could put it up on the screen. Right. But and we had a conversation, and she just gave me game, like, to meet her and to see it's possible, it like put something in me. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right, damn. Like, I met her in Miami at Revolt Festival, and I was like, damn, this shit is possible. To see where she is now, it makes me. It's the T.I. moment. Yeah, you're like, it makes me be like, you get what I mean? So it's right here. Yeah, my life, bringing that exposure conversation back full circle. And that's like, I ain't even. It's so much, and I don't want to overtalk, but people always ask me like, damn, I always see you in LA, or I always see you in New York, or I always see you in like, I move around a lot, and the reason why that is because I started learning. The more I move around, the more I'm exposed to. I'm on this set. And I'm not scared. I wear a lot of different hats, and based on which room I'm in, depends on which hat I have on. So if I'm in a film room, hey, how you doing? My name's Chancellor Smith. I'm a director from Atlanta, Georgia. Here's some of the projects that I worked on. If ever you have the opportunity, I would love to just come be a fly on the wall at your set. I can make myself useful. I could be a production assistant, grip, whatever you need me to be, DP. You need me to be a stand-in. And same way, if I'm at a studio, it's a bunch of songwriters in there. Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm Chancellor. I'm a songwriter from Atlanta. Here's some of the placements I had. But, like, I would love to. and that's how I kind of built this network and got into these rooms. So the Issa Rae thing was super important for me, but not only Issa. Like I've been in rooms with some really dope people, and it's been life changing for me. Because most people don't know, I am a film media producer by day, right? So I'm around these rooms all the time now, right? Younger me will be like, damn, bro, you done made it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, keep going. Yeah, there you go. I want to take it a little bit bigger. But all in all, if I could leave one thing with y'all and with the people, from one thing about my story is like, I'm not super religious, but I became super spiritual. Like, and when I became super spiritual is when my dreams are so big, and I met enough hurdles on my journey that I had to have a talk with God that said, if I accomplish this dream, it's only you that made it happen, because it's so far away. It's so far away, and it's so many gatekeepers. It's so many naysayers. Like, so I was just like, all right, bet. And how he guided me through everything was through coincidence. So I would watch Awkward Black Girl by Issa Rae, and then 2 years later, I'll be having a conversation with her. I would be listening to T.I. in 10th grade, 9th grade. 4 years later, I'm recording with him. You get what I'm saying? Like, right. This is crazy. Like, and every time I get down on myself, he'll throw me like a coincidence where I'm like a wink where I'm like, damn, that just didn't happen. Yeah. So like my whole life, the reason why I like to travel is because I know when I get there, I'm looking for the coincidence. Like I remember being in LA and somebody tapped me on my shoulder. I was down at LA Cafe and somebody was just like, hey, your name Chancer. And I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, I listen to you. I'm all the way from home. Like, I'm like, damn, you know me? Like, that's crazy.
The reach is out
there. You go. So, even crazy story. One night.
Coastal when y'all.
Yeah. Me and Tip, one night, I'll never forget this. And this is a true story. Last story. I'll end it on this. True story. God is so real, and he makes me laugh all the time. That's why even when I be on a down day, I don't never like be on some like, man, why me shit? Like, why me? I'm leaving. It was a 3 a.m. Writing session with T.I. Now, mind you, I ain't trying to tell all bro business, but the studio was lit, right? Like, it's a lot of green. Like, it smelled nice in there. You feel me? I got work at 8 a.m. I'm pinning a record, and this one of them records where I went off that night. Like, got off. He was like, yeah, you did your shit. And I'm trying to, I don't want to tell Tip. I'm trying to act cool. Like, hey, I got work. And like, I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, damn, I got work in a couple hours. Like, I slick gotta go. Like, you feel me? And my clothes smell like I've been at the studio, right? I only got like one change of clothes in the whip. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm not gonna be able to make it home. So we dap up. Like, all right, bro, I got to dip. I head to work. I get there. My shoes, I smell. Like, I'm like, damn, I need to find some change of shoes. Luckily, I had some in my trunk. Right. I change. I get to work. I'm an editor for work. And I'm doing my shit. Everybody like, hey, what you call it? We having some celebrities come by. Like our PR team. I need y'all to go film down there. I'm like, all right, bet. We going over there. It's the same day, same exact day. I get into the room. I say, oh, who we shooting today? And they was like, I look at the board, say T.I. I'm like, what? I'm like, this gonna look crazy. I was just with him 3 hours ago. Like, I'm trying to keep my rapper image. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want him to see me in my work clothes. Yeah, like, so I'm like, I can't get out of this. I'm one of the main media dudes at the job. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I work with all white folks, right? Only black dude. Tip come in. I'm dressed kind of like on some corporate shit. Yeah. Tip come in on some corporate. You know, Tip, he get on his corporate shit too. He look. I look. I'm thinking he gonna be like, what? What are you doing here? He look. He like, what up, my dog? Exactly. Everybody in the room like, how you know? Bro, how you know Tip? Like, da-da-da. And I'm just looking like, nah, we just go back. You know what I'm saying? It's the same that we just left the studio. We just left. Right. We dap it up. So he do his picture taking or whatever. The whole time in my head, God just like, I got you, bro. Cause I'm doing something that I really want to do outside of work, and I'm coming to work, and he brought my dreams to my doorstep.
Yeah.
And you gotta understand, like most people be like, oh, that's just coincidence. Nah, bro. God was saying like, hey, bro, just trust me. I'm gonna bring all your whoever you idolize, I'm gonna bring them to your door. But you gotta trust me. You gotta be able to move around. You gotta like have this ambition where you like, bro, like in that moment right there, I just laughed to myself. And we had a moment, we texted about it, and he was like, man, that was crazy. Like, we just left the studio. And he was like, bro, I didn't know you work here. I was like, yeah, bro, I got to eat. I was like, I ain't on, you know what I'm saying? So, but it was just something where I was just like, I always knew from that moment right there, I was like, damn, God got me, bro. Like, he going to always make sure, like, he going to give me a coincidence where it's just like, damn, like, and that's a true story. I'll never forget, I called all the homies. I was like, bro, guess who came in the work? And the funny part is, it's a picture at work. Because we took pictures after this, and it's a picture that showed that day where it's like me, him. So every time I pass that picture, I'm like, damn, yeah, like, even though I want to be here, like, let me just trust this process. Like, something's going to happen. The
shit going to work out.
Yeah, so always, sorry, another long story long, but at the end of the day, like, trust the process. Like, you just don't know. Going somewhere or saying yes, a lot of people don't understand. Say yes. Like, if you say, hey, Chance, come do the show. All right, bro, I'm coming. I'm going to pull up. I rock. Let's do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? The more you say yes, the more you expose yourself, and then you allow, not to get spiritual, but you allow the universe and God to do their part. If you don't do your part, man, come on, bro. If I didn't go to the studio that night, if I ain't lose sleep, I could have been like, nah, bro, I can't. I got to go to work, bro. I can't come to this. I was like, man, all right, I'm going to just pull it off. So God worked that way. There you go. There you go. So at this point in my life, I'm trusting my journey, saying yes, and just trusting that the vision that God gave me, He gave me for a reason, and we'll see where it ended up. We might watch this interview and be like,
say yes,
bro, more. Said this. You know what I'm saying? So yes, leave you with anything. Say yes. Say yes more. You know what I'm saying? Even for the small stuff. Everybody want to make time for the big stuff. You feel me? Like, I done seen people play me where I'm like, hey, bro, I'm having a shoot, man. Come out. I would really love you to come out. Mm-hmm. They won't make it, but make it over to what they want to make it to. And that's cool. I get it. Everybody got whatever, you make your own decisions. But, like, say yes to the small and big projects. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the faith of a mustard seed. You never know. But, yeah. That's it. But, yeah, for sure.
It's like shooting a shot.
Yeah, you got it. You what they say, you miss.
Every shot you don't take.
Yeah.
Get the things up like
shout out to my boy Chancellor Smith coming through the building, man. Make sure y'all tap in with her on socials, man. They'll be popping up on the screen for the listeners. It's Chancellor Smith, I'm sure, on all socials.
It is,
from what I remember.
Chancellor Smith, yeah.
Make sure y'all tap in. HasBeens Pod. Season 5, we back, man, with a bang, man.
Yes, sir.
Tap in with us. WildCard TV. We got content coming. We are out.
Peace. Thanks for having me.